what is the situation right now on the LAC?
What is the situation on the LAC is both of us today remain forward deployed, which means we are deployed well ahead of what were our traditional bases and camps. Secondly, we are deployed in very much larger numbers than we were deployed before 2020. We are also deployed with very much more weaponry than we were deployed before 2020. They did it first, we responded to it. So, they are the responsible party for it. In terms of the issue today, what we are discussing, right now the focus is on the patrolling. Both of us used to patrol from our traditional bases to the LAC, and there was like a patrolling pattern. We know theirs, they know us, and that's how it used to work. The patrolling patterns have got disrupted. The patrolling patterns in some cases have got blocked. So, right now the focus is on the, how do we get the patrolling issues resolved. Yeah. Thereafter, there could be a discussion about the troops, the weapons, that's the de-escalation side. But we feel first this patrolling issue needs to be resolved.
I want to elaborate on this particular issue. The India Alliance leaders have been first they talked about some model village in Arunachal Pradesh, which has been built during the NDA regime. Then they talked about nibbling of territory in East Ladakh. Now they're talking in terms of the Siachen glacier is being threatened by a road that is being made by the Chinese in the Shaksgam Valley, which has been illegally ceded by Pakistan. Now, you are an expert on China, and you've served in China as an ambassador. You know what it is. Can you tell us the bare details as to what is really happening?
Let me use those examples. Maybe I would give one or two also on my own side. Model village. Are the Chinese building these model villages in inverted commas? Yes. What was the village which became the subject of controversy? It is in a place called Longju.
Yes.
Okay. If you check the records of the Indian Parliament, or you read any book on our border problem with China, the Chinese came in 1959, attacked if I remember rightly, the Assam Rifles, which was holding that post. There were casualties on our side. The Chinese captured Longju in 1959. Then there was discussion with them. Chinese came back in 1962, this time captured it in entirety and held it.
This is the Nehru era.
Where is that model village coming up? The model village is coming up in Longju with Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in 1959 told Parliament, I'm sorry, but it has gone out of my hands. Okay. The second example which they cited was a bridge. Okay. There is a bridge which is being constructed on the northern side of the Pangong Tso Lake. If one looks at the coordinates of that bridge, it is close to a place called Kurnak Fort. The Chinese came to Kurnak Fort in 1958, and that particular part of Pangong Tso, that segment, they actually illegally occupied it in the 1962 war. Okay. So, they are today building a bridge in a part of Indian territory which they occupied in 1962. Now, these were two examples of which they made such a hoo-ha, including Rahul Gandhi. Yes. The recent one which came up during the campaign, actually Pawan Khera, their spokesman, said, under Modi, we are actually now even risking Siachen, because a road is being built out of Shaksgam Valley, which has implications for the security of Siachen. Now, Shaksgam Valley was in 1949, Jawaharlal Nehru allowed it to become part of Pakistan occupied Kashmir by accepting a ceasefire and not pressing our attack on Pakistan further. Then in 1963, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, as foreign minister, did an agreement with the Chinese and handed over 5,180 square kilometers of that territory to the Chinese. So look at this clever sleight of hand. Nehru let it happen. Bhutto handed it over to Chinese. And now you are saying Modi has a culpability in it. Now what they are gambling on is, a young person today would have no sense of all of this. So if you tell them, "Arey Modi ji ke samne ho gaya, CHN khatra mein hai," nobody is going to, do this kind of diligence and go and check, and they will just say, "Okay, this is our land," because if you look at the map of India, it falls within the map of India, and say, "Yeah, our land." They are building a road out there. So I actually regard this as downright dishonest. I think from the start, because China is a very interesting example. The Congress party has actually practicing a very sort of clever double speak issue. On the one hand, Rahul Gandhi will actually meet the Chinese ambassador secretly while Doklam is going on. Okay. On the other hand, he will claim to be a great nationalist outside. Okay. Even in 2013, look, I was the ambassador then. One of the most embarrassing things which happened to me was my minister at that time, Salman Khurshid. Chinese came into Depsang and Salman Khurshid said, "Oh, it's just some acne on the face of a beautiful friendship." These were guys coming into crossing the LAC and coming in. And he was dismissive of it. Okay. Now, if you look at it, their posture here, please read Rahul Gandhi's speeches on China, because he has a sense he knows a lot. Maybe he does. He doesn't attack the Belt and Road. Belt and Road violates our sovereignty. But the Congress party is very, very cautious about it. You can actually sense his admiration for China, great, great civilization coming back, great manufacturing power. So there's admiration there, secret meetings here, nationalist posture somewhere in between. And they think they can juggle these balls and keep it going. And then do this historical sleight of hand, 59, 62, 63, park it on Narendra Modi 2024. What can I say?
While on China, while we've been looking at what the India Alliance said, and there is one actually India Alliance leader who actually said that, that he will get the land back. This is part of his 10 guarantees.
I think if the rest of his guarantees are of the same quality as this guarantee, then all I can say is God help the people of Delhi. Because, clearly he has no idea what he's talking about. If he can reverse what his partner of the India Alliance did in 1962, I think then he should owe it to the Alliance. One Alliance partner saw 38,000 kilometers of territory going to China. The other one says, "Okay, I'll take it back. Please, as an intra-alliance issue, be my guest, let me watch you do it."